any vineyard where I'm raising my own children, I also want to make sure that the quality of the vineyard environment is such that human beings have a nice time living there as well. Secondarily, organic wines tend to have a little bit more flavor, a little bit more of a longer shelf life, especially when you do wild fermentations. So I think it's really important to follow organic precepts, especially when there's great alternatives to conventional farming. The drought for 2015 is going to continue with slightly lower yields, even lower yields this year than last year, which was slightly lower. The vines are struggling, and one of the big problems is that there's not enough water in the winter and early springtime to recharge the soil moisture profile so that the vines can grow up properly, have even shoot growth, and then stop naturally. In a case like that, when you have to start watering early, then you elongate your grand growth, and that means that tannins ripen a little later, flavors ripen a little later. You have to go to slightly higher sugars to get those riper tannins, and we would just not rather have that. And of course, for the growers, it's harder to have lower yields as well. We want balanced vines, not low yields. Family farming is the best way to make high quality wines. If you're going to factory make wines for, very low priced wines, then great. Just bring in your factory equipment and that kind of thing. But there is no substitute for family farming and the care that goes into almost every vine on these small family vineyards. One of the great things about Mendocino County is that the majority of it, there's far more small farmers than there are corporate entities working up theirs. Well, Mendocino is a very special place to farm grapes and make wines. One of the primary reasons is the people themselves. They're more laid back in Mendocino County. They're not as blinded by the glitz like you find in the Napa Valley, or even starting to happen a lot in Sonoma County. I worked in Napa County for years, and moving to Sonoma County, I'm a lot happier with the slower pace and lifestyle, the ease, the collaboration with which we all work together. And Mendocino is even more like that. They're very concerned about their neighbors. They're much more concerned about their environment, actually, than any other county in California. It is the hotbed of organic farming and the environmental movement. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is Lucinda Millie 2013 Chardonnay, Mendocino County, organically farmed. This wine, coming from the Haiku Vineyard in what's been called the Big Bend of the Russian River in Mendocino County, has almost tropical notes to go along with kind of the steeliness and mineraliness that you can get with great ease from Mendocino County. Partial malolactic gives it just a touch, just a hint of creaminess on the nose. And almost no oak used in this too, mostly stainless steel, gives this kind of a crisp, fresh fruitiness on the nose. That crispness and freshness continues on the mouth with great acidity, like you find in Mendocino County. Mouth-watering, late palate, pineapple and peach and yellow fruit elements to it that keep the mouth-watering aspect lingering quite late into the aspect, and with great acidity following up with finishing backbone on it. Probably the best adjective for this wine is fun. One of the things that we have to do in this particular vineyard is we have to do a lot of early suckering and leafing. And this particular technique is a new kind of technique. It's called part of the new viticulture. It's called carbohydrate repartitioning strategy. And that's where you pull off only certain leaves on the plant, only at certain times, to help repartition carbohydrate resources from vegetative strategy, growing more lumber, to reproductive strategy, to getting more flavorful grapes and color and that kind of thing. So we cruelly trick the vines, or actually coach them, by taking certain leaves off just at that period where they're starting to put back in. The vines go, there's not enough payback here. We better stop doing this shoot tip growth and start putting all of our eggs into the reproduction basket. And that's what we do in this particular vineyard here. So let's give it a try. Beautiful color. It's kind of a moderately dense red with purple hue to it, showing its youth as well as its strength. Beautiful Cabernet Sauvignon aromas, just a little bit of leafiness, cassis, and ribena or red currant, along with some a little bit of plum, red berry, and just a hint of oak. We are also not big on oak on this as well. On the palate, we're looking at very round, rich flavors, texturally very broad and spreading. A lot of young Cabernets would be more attacking or centered. This one is actually kind of caressing the tongue, spreading out and kind of holding your mouth. Makes it a great food wine with the great acidity to kind of balance the energy that's going on with the tannins. It's a perfect wine to drink now or lay down for a few years if you'd like. Wherever you go, there you are. That's from Buckaroo Bonsai.